The film begins with us seeing the Amazon forests, where trees are being cut down in a brutal and terrifying way, and the entire forest is completely destroyed before our eyes. And because of this destruction, the homes of the indigenous people living there are demolished and ruined, and they lose the life they were used to. Then we see at a university in America a girl named Justine sitting with her dorm roommate, and they talk a little about lectures in daily life. Then the two go to attend a very important lecture, and their professor tells them that in many places in the world, tribes, especially women, Justine becomes shocked and deeply affected, and she feels fear inside when she hears this, are subjected to very harsh and terrible traditions that still exist today. After the lecture ends and Justine is sitting alone in the hall, a guy approaches her and tells her that Alejandro asked him to give her this dish and that she is invited to a very important meeting. The idea is that at the college, there is a group of students who travel to different places around the world to raise their voices to protect the environment. This group is led by Alejandro, who is a famous activist with strong charisma and an influential personality, and he's always busy with new missions. Justine is also interested in social work and charity activities, so that night she goes to the meeting Alejandro invited her to. Alejandro tells everyone they are planning to go to the Amazon forests to protect a local tribe because a multinational company is cutting down the forest and destroying it to search for oil underground, which puts the tribe's lives in danger. Alejandro also says the company will hire armed retired soldiers to carry out the job, but they must stop the company by any means and also film everything live to show it to everyone. And this will make international media and people oppose the company, forcing it to leave and withdraw from there. Justine is very impressed by the mission and decides to go with them no matter what, and the rest of the group also joins the plan. The next day, Justine calls her father, who is a big lawyer at the United Nations, and lies to him saying she is going on a short trip with friends for 2 days. After that, Justine and the group arrive at a place where they meet Alejandro's friend who funded the whole trip from the beginning. Then they board a private plane and start their journey. After landing, they take a rickshaw to a hotel where they eat and try to rest a little before the mission. Then they get on a boat and head toward the Amazon forests. As soon as they reach the forest, they all wear matching outfits and move together toward the company's site. They chain themselves to trees and bulldozers and cover their faces with masks. Then they take out their phones, start filming, and stage a huge protest. And their goal is clear. They must broadcast everything live so that they chain themselves to trees and bulldozers and cover their faces with masks. Then they take out their phones, start filming, and stage a huge protest. And their goal is clear. They must broadcast everything live so that the whole world can see what this company is doing. At that moment, private militiamen arrive and try to remove them, but they had all chained themselves with metal locks so they couldn't open them easily. But Justine's lock was broken and open, so one of the militiamen grabs her, points a gun at her head, and threatens to kill her immediately. When Justine sees this, she becomes terrified and starts crying hysterically while calling for Alejandro. But Alejandro and the rest were only focused on filming and continued the video, and he says in front of everyone, "Kill her immediately. Her father is a lawyer at the United Nations, and let's see what happens." Justine is shocked when she hears this sentence and feels betrayed. At that moment, the group's live video spreads rapidly. Media pressure increases, and because of that, the militia retreats and leaves them, and the company is forced to stop working. At that moment, the police arrive and arrest the group, but Alejandro's friend pays the police and gets them released immediately. After that, they board their private plane to return home, and inside the plane, they celebrate as if they had already won. Alejandro says their videos spread everywhere, and everyone is talking about them in their bravery. Everyone is happy, but Justine feels sad and betrayed because they used her to save themselves. Suddenly, a serious engine failure happens. The pilots lose control and the plane begins an emergency landing. Everyone starts screaming in fear. Part of the plane breaks in the air and two people slip and fall from the plane. Moments later, they crash into the trees, and the plane is destroyed in a dense forest full of huge trees. In the crash, the two pilots die instantly, along with Alejandro's friend. Many people die immediately, and several others are seriously injured. The survivors cry in shock and try to help each other get out of the wreckage. Outside, everything around them is filled with bodies, blood, and destruction. Then the plane explodes again and is completely destroyed. Justine and Alejandro survive safely, along with a few others who miraculously live. They're terrified and don't know what to do or where to go, and their phones have no signal at all. One of the survivors tries to find his GPS device to call for help from the outside world. Then they hear a strange and frightening sound coming from inside the forest. Alejandro's girlfriend decides to go check the source of the sound. Suddenly, an arrow hits her directly and she falls to the ground. Alejandro becomes terrified and tries to pull the arrow from her neck, but before he can do anything, another arrow hits her in the head and she dies instantly. These people were a tribe from deep inside the forest, and they thought the group was... They think Justine and the others are enemies coming to attack them, and the rest of the group runs in every direction in fear. But the tribe surrounds them and starts shooting them one by one with arrows containing a strong sedative that makes them fall asleep. One guy tries to escape and finds his GPS device, but as soon as he grabs it, he is also hit with an arrow and immediately loses consciousness. After that, the tribe takes them in a wooden boat and moves them along the river until they reach their village in the middle of the forest. The tribe are indigenous people of the Amazon, their bodies painted red, and their appearance is terrifying to any outsider. The tribe takes Justine's group to their leader, but on the way, they tighten the circle and start pulling their hair violently, making them terrified and screaming. They beg them to let them go, but no one in the tribe stops. At that moment, they see bodies hanging from trees around the village and realize this is a cannibal tribe. Suddenly, the tribe's female leader arrives, her body painted yellow, and the tribe members stop harassing them and step back. The leader examines Justine's group carefully, speaks in their language, then orders them all locked in a wooden cage. At that moment, Alejandro has a phone, but discovers there is no signal at all, and everyone feels there is no hope of survival. After a while, they notice one of their friends is missing from the cage. They look outside and see the tribe taking their friend to a mysterious place. The tribe leader holds his face calmly, gives him a strange liquid to drink, then lays him on a large stone. Suddenly, she gouges out his eyes with her hands and shows them proudly to the tribe. When they see this, the whole tribe screams in celebration in a terrifying way. Then the tribe leader comes with a sharp weapon and cuts off the arms, legs, and head of Justine's friend in front of them. Watching this, everyone in the cage trembles in terror, trying to cover their eyes, but some cannot stop looking. Then the women of the tribe cook the body over an open fire. Then the tribe begins eating the meat in front of them. Alejandro and the others are horrified, and one girl in the cage starts vomiting from the brutality. When the children see her, they mock her and laugh. At night, they talk together in the cage, thinking about their situation, saying if they hadn't come to stop the company, they wouldn't be in this nightmare. Alejandro decides to confess and tells them he and his friend brought everyone here just for money. He says another company paid him to sabotage the first one, so he earned money and became famous. Alejandro continues his confession, saying he specifically brought Justine because her father is a major lawyer at the United Nations, and if anything went wrong, he could intervene and save them. When they hear this confession, everyone gets extremely angry at Alejandro and starts shouting at him furiously. The next day, while Justine is sitting, she sees a girl from the tribe standing in front of her, so she takes out the flute from her necklace and plays a calm tune to soothe her. At that moment, the tribe leader arrives, chooses 3 girls from the cage, and lines them up in front of the female leader. The leader performs strange rituals on them to determine who among them is still a virgin and who is not. In the end, they discover Justine is still unmarried, so they return the other 2 girls to the cage and take Justine with them to a hut far away from the others. The people in the cage decide they won't die this brutal way and must do anything to escape, but the tribe guards were watching them the whole time, preventing them from moving. At that moment, one guy gets a smart idea, plays a loud ringtone on Alejandro's phone, and throws it away from the cage. When the guards hear the sound, one of them goes toward it to investigate. When the guards hear the sound, one of them goes toward it to investigate. At that moment, a girl, with a friend's help, takes the chance, gets out of the cage, runs fast, and escapes. After a while, the tribe brings Justine back to the cage, and her body and face are covered with strange colored drawings. She doesn't remember anything because she had completely lost consciousness. Then the tribe brings food, and after one girl eats, she looks at her plate and is shocked to find a piece of skin with a distinctive tattoo. When she sees the mark, she immediately realizes it belongs to the friend who escaped earlier. Meaning, they captured her, killed her, cooked her, and now everyone is eating her flesh. When she realizes this horrifying truth, she collapses, breaks her plate, takes a sharp piece, cuts her throat, and ends her life immediately. The tribe comes and takes her body to cook and eat it like the others. But one of the guys takes advantage and puts hidden drugs in the dead girl's mouth, so when the tribe eats her, they become sedated. After that, the tribe cooks and eats her, and soon they all become drugged and start losing consciousness. Justine and the other guy take advantage of the chance and escape from the cage. But Alejandro hits one of his friends and knocks him unconscious, because Alejandro thought if he escaped with them, the tribe would catch and kill him. He also believed the other company would arrive and rescue him later, so he prevented his friend from escaping so the tribe would eat him first and he could survive longer. Justine and the other guy leave him behind and escape. When the boy woke up, he saw 2 tribe members sitting beside him and laughing. He thought they were drugged, so he tried to talk to them, but they cut off his arm and started eating it. When he saw that, he tried to escape, but the tribe surrounded him. Even though they were drugged, they caught him and started eating him alive. As Justine and the boy moved forward, they reached the river and saw smoke from the crashed plane where they were heading. But Justine accidentally fell into the river and began to drown, but she grabbed a rock. With the help of a tree branch, the boy saved Justine. Later, while walking at night, they reached the place where their plane had crashed. There, they saw the bodies of their dead friends hanging, and of course, we learned the tribe hung them. Justine then heard a phone ringing from the pocket of one of her dead friends. The 2 of them approached and took it. At that moment, the tribe came, beat them, and drugged them. The next morning, when Justine woke up, she saw they were preparing her friend for a ritual. Her friend was tied to a pole, and they were beating him and breaking his arms and legs. Then they put a substance on him that attracted ants, which started eating him. After that, the female leader came, according to their rituals, to do something to Justine. At that moment, one of the tribe members came and said people had arrived to cut the trees. When they heard that, everyone took their weapons and went to fight them. Only a few children stayed behind watching Alejandro. Then the little girl Justine played the flute for untied her rope. As soon as she was free, she ran to her friend tied to the pole while venomous ants were eating him in pain. Justine wanted to save him, but he was in so much pain that he preferred death. The girl ended his suffering with a knife. After that, Justine took the girl with her and started walking. Alejandro begged her to help him, but Justine didn't help him and escaped with the girl. The girl showed Justine the way out of the jungle. To thank her, Justine gave her the necklace with the flute as a gift. At that moment, another girl with her father arrived to catch Justine. But the path Justine was walking on had a dangerous jaguar, which made the tribe afraid to approach her. Justine had no other choice and had to continue on the same path. Her luck was good because the animal was full and didn't attack her. While walking, she saw militiamen shooting the tribe and killing them. When she saw that, she raised her hands, shouted she was American, and pretended to film them with her phone. She asked them to let her go, and they stopped and called for a helicopter to take her out. The pilot asked if there was anyone else, but she said no. She boarded the helicopter and returned home. After a few days, government officials questioned her, and she said all her friends died in the plane crash and she was the only survivor. She also said she met a tribe that helped her and didn't harm her, hiding the truth so she wouldn't cause their deaths or further destruction of the forest. After that, Justine received a phone call from Alejandro's sister, who told her that a satellite image showed Alejandro in the jungle, and that he is still alive until now, but his body is covered in black paint, meaning he has probably become part of that tribe. And here is where the events of our movie come to an end.